With the number of cases of COVID-19 still climbing, hospitals and doctors right across Canada are preparing guidelines on some of the most heartbreaking decisions they may face. For example, what do you do if you have 2 patients in need but only 1 ventilator? Joining us this morning with a look at what's being considered by medical officials is Kerry Bowman. He's a bioethicist from the University of Toronto. Nice to see you, Kerry.
Good morning, Anne-Marie.
We've heard stories of these agonizing situations in countries like Italy, and hopefully we don't reach that here. If we do, however, what factors would doctors be considering?
Yeah, and there will be, and so far things are actually looking, fingers crossed that maybe we're not going to have to face this nightmare. So let's just be very, very hopeful. But look, we need to talk about, of course, what if we do. There's kind of an emerging consensus in Canada, North America, so I include the United States in this one, that really the methodology would be one in which you're absolutely maximizing the amount of lives that could possibly be saved. So what that would be is, as you look at patients, rather than looking at them one by one by one, always looking to the big picture is how do we keep as many people alive as we possibly can? So what that would mean in practice is, what are the chances that this person will survive, this ICU and this ventilator admission, this ventilator trial, and what's the likelihood that they'll come out on the other side? So then what would happen is there'd be a kind of a scoring system they vary a little bit around the country, and the Americans use one that's slightly different in some cases. But you would look at what pre-existing medical problems does the person have. You'd look at lung, cardiac, those types of things. And you would come to and in many cases, a scoring system and say, so this person is the person that's most likely, or a person that is most likely to survive this in relation to the others.
There was a report prepared for Ontario Health that set up some of these possible scenarios. One, if hospitals are at double their capacity for a sustained period of time with less than 70% chance at surviving, patients that had less than 70% chance of surviving would not qualify for medications and machines to keep them alive. That's just one example. As a bioethicist, what ethical dilemmas do you see there?
There's many. And I think these, as everyone has said 1,000 times, these are unprecedented times, but they're also the times that define us. So what we can't do, and, I don't want to criticize Italy and Spain and other countries, they're doing what they can do, but is to look at a person's date of birth and say, okay, we're not taking anyone that was born before 1950 or 60 or whatever it may be. That is not, there's growing consensus that we will not go that route. But here's the thing, Anne-Marie, we all know age is a high consideration in terms of how someone is going to do with any physical trauma. So generally, younger people have far greater physical resiliency. That does not mean it's a simple thing. We would factor it in. But let's look at what's going on in the United States. I mean, we're hearing a growing amount of data that African Americans and other people that are racialized, in fact, are being hit very, very hard with this, and in fact are the people dying. So in some cases, people that are already marginalized are going to score lower. And that includes some, not all, people with disabilities. So, although it sounds like, and people are saying, well, it's really not an ethical question at all, it's a medical one. I find that very disturbing. It is a medical decision with profound ethical choices and implications attached.
So many factors at play there as well when you're dealing with marginalized populations, including access to care.
Absolutely.
Kerry,
and in the U.S., that's huge. Yeah.
Thanks for joining us this morning, Kerry.
You're welcome, Anne-Marie. Take care.
Thanks for watching. If you like this, be sure to subscribe here.
And you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.